I was that guy that would go to church, sit towards the back, listen to a good message, nod in agreement, and then go home. The whole act of joining a life group, that was kind of that lightning strike moment for me.
In the past, when I go to church, you hear it and then you kind of try to figure it out yourself, but it doesn't go too far.
The Bible is not always easy to understand it, and so it's good to be able to ask those questions, then we can discuss it as a group.
It is a small family of people who are welcoming, who not only want to share the gospel with me, but also want to formulate real-life relationships with me.
It is a safe place for me to kind of share what is happening in my life.
It's like a family. We can be there kind of to support each other and to care for each other. We just go through it all together. In James, when he talks about don't just be hearers of the word, but be doers of the word. A life group kind of takes the message that we hear and forces us to kind of apply it to our lives and see, well, what does this mean to me on a day-to-day basis? And how does this actually change me? Honestly, it's God's grace that He doesn't leave us where we're at. He allows other people, the body of Christ, really to challenge us.
I don't know if it was me or if it was just Satan saying your house is not big enough, it's not pretty enough, there's not enough parking. I mean, logistically, I could go through 1,000 reasons why we shouldn't have led a life group. Truly, I still do that sometimes. But I think we got to the point, both of us, where we just said, okay, God, clearly this is something you are telling us to do and you haven't relented, and it's time for us to listen and just trust you with those details. And He cares about those details. There's so much less ominous to Him than they are to us, but He cares, and He divinely orchestrates all of that all the time.
I came to the point where I just had to kind of snap myself out of it and just say, stop doing this, stop letting church stop on Sunday. And I just wanted the gospel to be in the rest of my life. And so I can get over my pride and invite people to my house that isn't as nice as theirs, and invite people who are smarter than me and people who have it more together than me. I'm just gonna open my house and say, hey, let's get real, guys. But the interesting thing is, you know, I'd call it church baggage. Most people there have some semblance of that. And they have a lot of church experience, but limited experience of really doing life with people, being authentic, limited experience of even being vulnerable. In the first year and a half of this group, we've seen people come through a lot of that and just be able to relax and feel like they have a place at a church thing, which is completely unique, especially for 2 or 3 people in our group. They've said over and over again how that's never happened before.
It's just an open, vulnerable, honest discussion, and we just open our living room for it, and that's what it comes down to. And God does everything else, literally everything else. He orchestrates those details, the big ones and the small ones.
But everything's super good. We did a private party today for our properties. That's good.
It's so odd in a really fast-paced culture that's very hyper self-absorbed to sit down and simply have people love on you and speak the red letters that aren't in the Bible, the words that Jesus would speak if He was there, the way that He created you and the way that He sees you, that comes out when other people talk to you. And it is sad that it's so foreign and so alien to us. But the gospel's alien. The gospel's uncomfortable. And so in a very similar way to the redemption message of Jesus, speaking life into people that you love has a similar effect. It really catches people's attention.
If you're feeling any kind of a calling or a tugging to lead a life group, yes, you're going to feel inadequate. I don't know that there's anyone who's led a life group that says, I've got this nailed. I think you could interview all of us and we would all say the same thing. We didn't feel adequate. I think there's something really sweet in that because you are dependent on God to orchestrate the details, or you should be. If things are holding you back, whether the logistics or they're just internal, you just need to take those to God and say, please orchestrate the details. Chances are those are the very things in you that probably will make you an awesome life group leader, because you'll be vulnerable about those things. But I would say, in some ways, I say just, as cliche as this sounds, go for it, and let God orchestrate and intervene in those details that hold you up.